we have the Stunfisk Limited Research Day that's going down on Sunday, April 23rd, from 2 until 5 p.m. local time. So I'm going to give you my top tips to help you guys max out. So welcome to the Trader Club. Here we go. Welcome back. We have Stunfisk Shiny Encounter for the first time ever in Pokemon Go, which is coming this weekend as the debut from 2 until 5 p.m. Not only that, the research will also include the Galarian Stunfisk, which is going to be amazing. I will probably do a video that will update you guys on that, but most importantly, we're going to go over the top tips to help you guys break down everything right now, because regardless of what the field research is, getting out, spinning Pokestops, getting this research, completing the research, and trying to get the shiny is going to be the #1 way and only way to be able to get this Stunfisk during this day. There will be a bonus during this day that is going to include increased shiny chances for both of these Stunfisks. So if you don't have the Galarian shiny, it's fantastic, amazing, get one, and the regular Stunfisk shiny is going to be out there as well with these increased odds. Not only that, there's going to be some spawns out there, so without further ado, let's get into my top tips, starting off with tip #1. Tip #1 is going to be revolved around the research. So what is going to be the 100% IV for the Stunfisk in Pokemon Go? That is going to be 926 for both of them, actually. Yes, both of them can be 926. And for the Galarian Stunfisk, actually in the Ultra League, it's best if it is a 15-15-15 and it sits below 2500. You can even best buddy that Pokemon and get that all the way to max, which will max out at 2474, which will require 296 XL candy to be able to get it there. So the 100% IV for this Pokemon is very valuable. Also for this Pokemon, it's very valuable in the Great League as well. However, getting it from field research will not allow you to get that low attack and high defense stamina to optimize this Pokemon. But if you do get it and want to trade with great friends, you can drop down that attack quite significantly. In the Great League, it's actually going to be ranked 2 at a 0-12-15 for the optimal 100% IV for PvP for this Pokemon. So most importantly, get the shiny, do as many field research as possible, choose a location that not only has a good grind area where you can catch Pokemon, but you're going to be using incense throughout this day is what I would suggest. You're going to need a grand total of 3 of them, and then you're going to walk and complete all the research in this area and then go to another area. If you usually go to a grind area that only has a finite amount of stops, probably not the location for this day. You're going to go out there, explore, get to a place that you can have maybe multiple town strings in a row so you can complete all of these and get on to more field research to get you more chances of getting these shinies because of the boosted odds, which is then going to lead us to tip #2. Tip #2 is going to be all about optimizing the wild catches with a Mega Pokemon. So hopefully you guys do have Mega Level 3s for your ground type Pokemon. There are 3 out there that are going to work for us today because all the Pokemon that are going to be caught have ground typing shared commonality. So these 3 Pokemon are going to be the Mega Steelix, we can use Mega Swampert, and we can also use the Primal Groudon. Any one of these that you do have at a level 3, any of them, I would suggest using. I will be going after the Primal Groudon because it is going to have multiple things going on there. It can boost 3 typings, ground, fire, as well as grass. So that's going to be the optimal one. Then we have the Swampert that does water and ground, and then we also have the Steelix that does steel and ground. But Drillbur does not even share a commonality with that other Pokemon. It is only a ground type until it evolves into Excadrill, which then it turns into the steel typing. So ground is going to be the optimal one here. Whichever one you have at Mega Level 3, you guys are definitely going to want to use that. But remember guys, I talk about this in every single video to optimize your XL candy. So if you are not having these Pokemon at Mega Level 3, you need to start going after these Pokemon, leveling them up, even if you only wait until the free Mega Evolution comes and then you Mega Evolve it and you walk it for Mega Energy. That is a perfectly fine way to do it as long as you're working on it. That's what's important, which then going to lead us into the spawns in tip #3. As far as these spawns out here, we do start off with Sandshrew. Sandshrew, it is in the regular Sandslash. However, in the Alolan Sandslash, it is good, and it requires XL candy for the Ultra League. So I would suggest, obviously, still catching these Pokemon. It can be shiny, and it can add towards the XL candy for the Alolan Sandslash, which is going to be positive. Then we're going to have Diglett, which is an irrelevant Pokemon. It does have the Alolan Diglett as well, but these Pokemon are just a catch, potentially get a shiny, and move onwards. But next, we do have the Gligar, and Gligar does go into Gliscor, and Gliscor is actually a meta-relevant Pokemon in the Great and the Ultra League, which has surprised me quite significantly. It is going to be ranked 16 in the Great League with Wing Attack, Earthquake, and Night Slash, with a 100% IV at a 115-14, and then in the Ultra League, it's going to be ranked 19 at a 415-11 as the 100% IVs, and that's at 39 and a half, which is good. And then we're going to move on to the Swinub. Swinub does have the Calm Day Classic coming on, so I wouldn't focus too much on this Pokemon. However, if you do get a good one out there, you can evolve it it during this day, even though it's not the recommended moveset out there. As far as this Pokemon, as a shadow Pokemon, it's a very powerful ice meta attacker. It's even now a powerful ground meta attacker because of the high horsepower added moveset to this Pokemon. But in the Master League, it's best ranked at 23, all 15s, 100% IV at level 50 with the moveset combination of Powder Snow, Avalanche, and a high horsepower. And the next Pokemon is going to be Donphan, coming from Phanpy. Phanpy spawning in the wild, does have a shiny, relatively newer shiny, semi-rare for a lot of people. The best ranked is actually going to be in the Master League at 105. And the recommended moveset on that Pokemon is going to be Counter, Body Slam, and Earthquake. The next Pokemon is going to be Larvitar, which had a Calm Day Classic, so most of us should have plenty of XL candy on this Pokemon. However, this Pokemon does have a future Mega, so too much XL candy may not be a bad thing for this Pokemon. It is actually best ranked as a PvP Pokemon in the Master League at rank 121 with the moveset recommendation of Smackdown, which is the Calm Day move, Crunch, as well as Stone Edge. And just remember that Tyranitar, you are going to want to have two of those as the Mega maxed out, one for the Dark typing and one for the Rock typing, because it does get double stab boosted moves of all Dark and all Rock. If you do have Smackdown on that Pokemon, that is a Calm Day move and you do not want to TM that away. And the next Pokemon is going to be Numel. Numel does have Camera Up that it does come from. This one actually does have a future Mega, which will be a Ground and a Fire typing. However, if we look at this typing, the Primal Groudon does boost those two typings and then also boost Grass. However, I, with dual typings, will always boost at least one of every dual type Mega all the way to Mega level 3 because I just think that it's cool. It adds to my repertoire and it adds to the ability and functionality of these Pokemon to be able to use to extract XL candy. But beyond that, that's all that really Pokemon does because it is going to be double weak to water type, and in PvP, there is way too much water in there for this Pokemon to handle. And the next, we're going to have Baltoy that does go into Clay Doll. Unfortunately, this Pokemon is irrelevant. But next, we do have the Barboach. Barboach is going to go all the way into Wishcash. Wishcash is best ranked in the Great League at rank 32 with Mudshot, Blizzard, as well as Mudbob. The 100% IV is going to be a 0, 14, 13 on this Pokemon. It is a pretty good Pokemon. It does share the same typing as does the Swampert, and these both Pokemon are going to have one weakness, which is going to be a double weakness to Grass, so be careful using those. And the next Pokemon is going to be Hippopotas. Hippopotas does have a shiny. It is a good Pokemon, pretty cool looking, nothing too great to write home about, but in Master League, it is the best ranked as the Hippowdon. Rank 115 with Ice Fang, Weather Ball, which is going to be in the Rock form, and then finally it is going to have Earth Power. Okay, so that is the best ranking for it at 115. In the Shadow, it is ranked better at 94, but unfortunately we won't be able to catch this. And then finally we do have the Drillbur that does go into Excadrill. Brand new shiny for this event, so definitely click on that one. The moveset recommendation for this Pokemon is Mudshot, Drill Run, as well as Rock Slide, and it's best ranked in the Master League at rank 58. It's also a pretty good ground attacker. Not the best because we obviously have better ones, but it is pretty well ranked and it is a budget one of that, so getting XL candy for that Pokemon, multi-purposing it in the Master League as well as a meta ground attacker is definitely beneficial for you. So that is going to do it for the Sustainability Week limited research, 3 hours on Sunday. Make sure to optimize this, get into a great place to be able to get as many stops as possible to be able to spin and complete them and conquer this day in Pokemon Go. And hopefully you're going to leave this day with both of the Stunfisk, Galarian, and the regular form in their shinies. So I appreciate you guys being here as always. Good luck out there, trainers. Love and appreciate you guys. Likers, comments, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes your support, subscription, participation to the next level. I'm going to see you guys out in the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.